Hey friends, today I'll be sharing a creation using the Waffle Flower Sneak Peek Club Kit, which features items from the upcoming July release. This kit is a monthly subscription service that lets you play with items from the upcoming release, and if you're already subscribed, this club kit would have shipped at the beginning of June, which is about a month before the July release. And if you subscribe today, you'll be receiving the Sneak Peek kit for the month of August. Let's take a look at what's included in this kit, which is always in the pouch with the kit information right out in front. In this kit, you'll receive the bokeh stencil trio, multiple presents die and stencil, and the sub-sentiment GIF die cut. Waffle Flower is also doing a giveaway of the next kit on my blog, so be sure to stop by and leave a comment for a chance to win. My blog link will be in the description below. Okay, now for the card. Everything that I use will be part of the July new release, so if you're interested in the items, you can shop the new release in a few days if you don't have the kit. To start off my card, I'm using the bokeh stencil trio, and there are 3 layers to the stencil set, and the etchings on the stencils actually tell you which type of colors you should use. So for the first layer, they say light colors, and the second layer is medium colors, and then the last layer is dark colors. And I think that that just helps you with the layering effect and really getting that bokeh look. But I kind of disregarded it because I just wanted to use the colors I wanted to use, and I didn't want to worry about the light colors or not. I always just go heavy-handed with distress inks to get the really dark colors if I really want. I did keep that in mind because I did pick the layer colors to be the first layer, which is Pix Raspberry and Wilted Violet. I didn't stop myself from going in too heavy-handed with it. I just went in and got the color I wanted. And then the second layer, I decided to go in with Peacock Feathers and Mermaid Lagoon. They're still pretty light colors, but I did go a little heavier handed with them, mainly because I wanted any overlap to be darker. I really went in a little bit heavier in those areas where there were overlaps, but I think it looks really pretty. For all the layers, I decided to use 2 colors. I think it just gives it a little bit more dimension and it doesn't make it look so flat. I tried to keep the ink a little heavier on the edges and a little lighter in the middle so it kind of looks more round, and that was what I was going for. The cool thing about these stencils are that it does have an etching for your card panel for an A2 card panel. So that is how I have placed the stencil and put it on a Waffle Flower stencil mat, and it didn't move, so it was kind of nice. Of course, I am holding down the stencil just in case, but I felt very comfortable stenciling this up without putting a magnet onto the stencil or anything like that, just to hold it down. And these 2 colors are sort of similar, but in person you can see the difference between them. One's a little bit more of a teal and one's more blue heavy. Then for the last layer, I did decide to go with my darker colors, which are Villainous Potion and Chip Sapphire. I did have to go a little heavier handed with this because of the fact that I didn't go light-handed with my 2 previous layers, and that works fine because these 2 colors are on the darker end of the distress inks. But of course you can use any other colors that you want, and you can even use the same color. Another idea is to get a piece of colored cardstock and ink up all 3 stencils with white pigment ink or white ink, and it'll look really cool as well. Or you can do it on top of a watercolor panel or something like that just to add that pattern. Bokeh is so pretty, and I think it works for so many different card backgrounds that you really can use it for any type of card that you're making, whether it be a birthday card, a thank you card. It's just really pretty and it's an easy design. And I do like that the 3rd layer kind of has these stars on it. I just think it's an added dimension that just is really pretty. Next, I will be using the multi-presents stencil and die. This stencil is one that will create 4 presents, actually 5. All you do is you ink it up. This stencil is just a 1-piece stencil, or it has 4 different rows for each portion of the layers. You'll see that I'm using 1 color per layer. I'm using the same colors that I did for the bokeh background, mainly because I didn't want to think about what colors to use instead of, so I just went with the same colors, and we'll deal with the busyness of the background in a bit. For each of these layers, I'll put a piece of masking tape, mainly because I just don't want ink on the bottom, and that way I can use the paper for scraps later. It also helps me hold it in place because these are a little bit smaller areas that you're stenciling in, so I find that I'm a little bit rougher with smaller areas. Waffle Flower has these stenciling brushes for details, and I have them. I just didn't think to pull them out, which I probably should have. It would have made it a little bit easier to get into those crevices. But the cool thing about this stencil is that it actually comes with a coordinating die, and I'll cut out all 5 of the presents. So that's what I'm going to do, because I didn't want to keep them in this white cardstock. I didn't really want to trim it down. I wanted to overlap them a bit. I did notice, because of the busy background, that I really needed to put something down to kind of distinguish the presents from the background, especially because they're all the same color. And so I grabbed a piece of black cardstock. This was trimmed down to, I think, about 1.5 inches. It wasn't even that much. And then I also pulled out the sub-sentiment gift die cuts, and these are perforated sentiments that are already ready to go. I picked out a gift for you. I thought it was fitting with all the presents, and I still felt like it didn't really stand out very much, so I pulled out some holographic paper. As always, I will mat this on that holographic paper, which I think just makes the card panel pop a little bit more, kind of gives a cool accent to the panel as well, because I really love holographic paper. I also matted the black cardstock on holographic paper because I thought it helped the presents stand out a little bit more, and I think it did. So in person, I think this looks really good, and the holographic paper always catches the light. So I'm just arranging them almost the same, I think, if not, yeah, it's the same as the stencil itself. For the sentiment, I'm just putting it right at the bottom of the card. That's it for the card today, and be sure to stop by my blog to leave a comment for a chance to win the Waffle Flower giveaway. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.